Well, hello, and thank you for joining me for another Alex on Tech and ITY TV interview. I'm joined today by Kurt Benici. He's the head of Motorola ANZ. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks for having me.
So, Kurt, you've been there for nearly 12 months. What has it been like being at the head of one of the, most well-known mobile phone companies in the world?
Thanks, Alex. It's been really exciting time to be at Motorola. We've seen tremendous growth from the Motorola business, and it's a really exciting time to be in the industry. There's a lot of innovation coming through. It's a really exciting time to be a part of it.
So last year, Kurt, you launched the G series and the Edge 20 series. So how did that go? I mean, you had several Edge models, you had several G models, and I've been using an Edge 20 myself, and I mean, it's a very impressive model. So how did the market receive it?
So 2021 was a big year for us. We achieved our 12th iteration of Motorola G, and consumers are really comfortable with Motorola G now. I think the value that you're getting in that Motorola G franchise is being really well received. As you mentioned, we launched the Motorola Edge franchise in 2021, and that was our first opportunity to step back into our premium tier. It's been many years since we've had products at those price points, and Motorola Edge really gives us the ability to test what's possible on a mobile device. We can demonstrate some significant innovation in screen technology and in camera technology. So the Edge 20 family that we did launch last year was very, very well received. As we expand into 5G, so the 5G accessibility into the Moto G and to the Motorola Edge family, what we are seeing is consumers are adapting that 5G technology a lot more rapidly. So consumers are really getting on board with the Motorola and the Motorola product. We saw, huge success with the Motorola G franchise in 21, including the Motorola G10 and the G30, which I think we probably sold a lot more than what we originally had forecasted to sell, which is a great news story to tell. But we could have done so much more had we got that forecast right. And we continue to work with our channel partners to get that number to make sure that we've got products on shelf and that we're meeting the consumer demand. Edge 20, we had 3 products in the last Edge 20 franchise. So there was the Edge 20 Fusion, the Motorola Edge 20, and the Edge 20 Pro, and all 3 really performed beyond our expectation in the Australian market. In fact, we've still got Motorola Edge 20 on shelf today, and they still continue to sell beyond our expectation, beyond our retailers' expectation. And I'd say probably of the 3 of those Edge products, Motorola Edge Fusion has really captured the audience that we really targeted, and that was at that $499 price point. We'll continue to use that Motorola Edge branding and the Fusion sub-brand, and the Fusion sub-brand is all about a fusion of all of the great things that the Edge family can deliver, all brought together at a really competitive price point.
So you'll keep the Edge 20 as the, I guess, premium but lower sort of mid-range, and now you've got a sort of an upper mid-range with the Edge 30 Pro. So you've got one Edge 30 in Australia. I think you have some other models overseas, but you've got the G22, which is impressively affordable at $299. You've got the Edge 30 Pro, which for $999 Australian includes the latest Snapdragon Qualcomm 8 Gen 1 processor. So can you please tell us about the G22 and the Edge 30 Pro, and when they're going on sale and where people can buy them?
Absolutely. So I'll start with the G22. G22 is such a stylish device for that price point. So this will be a $299 recommended retail price product. It leads with the Stylus design, and it's available in the 2 colors, the Cosmic Black and the Pearl White. Now, the G22 has a 6.5-inch HD Plus display, which refreshes at 90 hertz. So it's a really beautiful display to be capturing and to be consuming any of your content. It features a quad camera system on the rear, which leads with a 50 megapixel camera. And one of those other sensors is an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. So you're capturing more of your image at once. The engineering team have done a great job in really making the G22 very, very feature rich at this price point. So we're including near field communication, NFC. So you can leave your wallet at home and use your device for contactless payments, for public transport. I know MyKey supported on the G22. So a really great feature at that $299 price. We have, from a retail ranging perspective, we've got lots of partners supporting the G22, and this is expected to be on shelf by mid-April. We have JB Hi-Fi, Officeworks, The Good Guys, Harvey Norman, Big W, all the major retailers here in Australia will be bringing the G22 to market. And then you've got your traditional e-commerce players like Mobile City. Lenovo.com will also have the G22 available from a very similar date.
Yeah.
So that's the G22.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's good to see multiple cameras and the 90 hertz screen, the big 90 and the large screen and the NFC at that particular price point, which sort of undercuts some of the competitors, and also the iOS side of the fence, where you've got to spend, if you want brand new, you've got to spend $719 for the iPhone SE 2020, which has the smaller screen and doesn't have 90 hertz and those sorts of things.
Exactly. And featuring the latest version of Android, so Android 12, and does include a massive 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So you're getting, up to days of usage, either work or play, with that massive 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So,
okay.
We're really excited about the G22, as are our retail partners.
Yeah. So on to the Edge 30 Pro, which is the flagship for 2022. Tell us all about it.
The reason why we're here. So the Edge 30 Pro, obviously the latest iteration of the Motorola Edge family. It is our flagship product for the first half of 2022. It features a 144 hertz refresh display, which is adaptable based on what you're using on the device. So if you're consuming content, if you're streaming video, if you're playing games, you can maximize that 144 hertz refresh, which means the screen is refreshing 144 times a second. It means you're getting a really fluid experience. The adaptive refresh technology means that when you're not consuming that kind of content, it can actually fall down to about 60 hertz. So if you're sending a text message, or if you're viewing very static information, from a battery consumption perspective, it's great technology to be able to make the most of that. Now, I think the key headline on the Edge 30 Pro is the cameras. So the Edge 30 Pro supports dual 50 megapixel cameras on the rear. So from a camera perspective, this truly is a flagship camera experience, and probably one of the highest selfie camera resolutions on the market, where you've got a 60 megapixel selfie cam. So you've got the ability to video call with your friends and family, or host work video conferences with really high resolution forward-facing capability. So we're really excited about what the Edge 30 and the cameras can deliver to our consumers.
And so there's some sort of PDAF feature for the cameras. So just tell us about that.
So the Edge 30 Pro supports PDAF, which is phase detection autofocus, which means it's actually scanning both horizontally and vertically when looking for that focal point, which means that you're getting a much sharper image when using that 50 megapixel main lens on the rear. And that secondary lens, that 50 megapixel secondary lens, is your ultra wide angle and also doubles as your macro lens for any kind of food photography that anybody's planning to publish onto Instagram or any of those socials.
And one of the secret features of the Edge 30 Pro is the fact that it can be used with a stylus. That's a separate purchase, but with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, I mean, that ends up being a note killer. Now, I know that the stylus comes with the case and it's sort of still coming to the market, but just tell us a bit about this stylus and its features and how it compares to, I guess, the most famous competitor, which is the Note / S22 Ultra range stylus.
Sure. So as you pointed out, there is a folio cover available for the Edge 30 Pro. It gives you a bit of a glance screen on the front, and the UI on the handset will actually tailor the screen to be able to see your notifications coming through that glass screen. Now, with that folio cover, as you pointed out, you actually get the stylus included as part of that overall package. We are working with our local distribution partners to bring that folio cover and stylus to market. With overwhelming support and feedback from our partners, there really seems to be an opportunity for this stylus in the Australian market, and probably something that we didn't anticipate, but we're definitely working on getting this on shelf as quickly as we can. Yeah. Now, the stylus itself has about 4,000 different points of pressure on the screen. So it does have different functionality to just being a stylus that you're using to point around on the display. And I guess the really cool thing about the stylus technology with the Edge 30 Pro is that it actually acts as your wand when you're using the Edge 30 Pro with Ready For. So Ready For being that platform that allows you to extend your experience from your phone to a bigger screen, either wirelessly or wired. When the device is connected to your smart TV via Ready For, you can actually use that stylus as your wand and point that around wirelessly to your display to get that kind of air mouse experience. It's actually really, really impressive.
Yeah, well, at half the price of the S22 Ultra with the same processor and similarly big screen, I mean, the S22 Ultra probably, no doubt has other features besides, but I think it'll be extremely popular and competitive, and the only true competitor in that at all, and especially under $1,000, at least for the phone itself. With the, I mean, do we know, or do we have an idea what the stylus and the case combo will cost?
So at this stage, it looks like the recommended retail price for the Folio cover and the stylus is around 99 Australian dollars, so really competitive. Now, this is the first stylus solution that we've had in the Australian market. So other regions across the globe have had Moto stylus products before, and this is really the first time that we can leverage that technology and really test the waters and understand what consumer behavior looks like with that stylus product. We've had a little bit of forward visibility on some future products that are planned for towards the end of 2022 and beyond. And I can assure you that this won't be the first and only product that Australia supports with stylus. So it's really, really exciting space.
And I think you recently mentioned that the new Edge 30 Pro has an enhanced Ready For experience. So what are some of the differences to the Ready For that's in the Edge 20, and how have you yourself been able to use the Ready For technology in your own life?
So Ready For is up to version 3. The first iteration was focused very much on wide connectivity. We're at a point now where Ready For is able to be used in that wireless context. So I can connect to my smart TV. I'm presented with an experiences hub, so I can choose whether or not I'm using my device for entertainment, or for gaming, or for desktop mode. And that's all wireless, and it's a really beautiful user interface to be able to select how you'd like to use Ready For. As we spoke about earlier, I used Ready For recently myself. I talk about the technology every day. You don't always get to use it yourself firsthand, but I was able to host a Zoom call with some friends and family recently, and I had my Edge 30 Pro on my mantle, connected to my TV wirelessly, and it's astonishing how effective it is in real life. There is subject tracking mode available as part of Ready For. So as you walk around the room, the camera has the smarts to actually follow you around the room. And it's all kind of hands-free, it's all unaided. So for any kind of budding photographers out there, or any stars for TikTok, or if you're doing any cooking tutorials or any of those things where you actually don't physically have somebody behind the camera, the subject tracking mode in Ready For is actually really helpful. And what we find is where you've got multiple subjects or multiple people using the subject tracking mode on Ready For, the device is actually smart enough to determine that there are two people in the screen, and it actually pan and zoom to make sure that everybody's in the picture. So some really exciting technology, and we're really proud to be able to deliver Ready For into the Australian market as a real key point of differentiation between the Motorola Android product and some of the other competing products in the market.
Yeah, well, I mean, on the Apple side of the fence, they call that sensor stage, but it's only available on the iPads. So this is something that's on the phone, and you can link it to the TV wirelessly. You can link it to your computer and have that sort of desktop Android experience. So that ability to just have one device that can do it all is blossoming and coming true.
It's very powerful, and I think aside from all of the wireless connectivity to your smart TV. The wide connectivity to your PC is an equally really strong proposition. So you can connect your Edge 30 Pro via a USB-C cable to your laptop, and you get an Android experience on your Windows PC. So you've got the two environments running side by side. So you can actually either drag and drop content from the laptop to the phone, or vice versa, or you can copy text from one of the devices and paste it into the other. But you can also launch your full Android suite of applications in that Windows environment. So if you've got any content or applications specific on Android, on the Android platform, you can actually launch them on your Windows desktop, which is quite a unique experience.
Now, another superpower of the Edge 30 Pro is the fast charging. On iPhones, for example, you get half an hour of charging, gives you 50% of battery. So what is the superpower for charging of the Edge 30 Pro?
So we've packed a 4,800 milliamp hour battery in the Edge 30 Pro. So you're getting days of usage out of that flagship product. What we have also supported with the Edge 30 Pro is a 68 watt charge. So we're still going through the certification on that 68 watt charger as a separate accessory. Because it has a unique Australian pin, we need to electrically certify each product as it's brought into the market. So there's a 30 watt charge included in the box, but the device itself is capable of charging up to 68 watts, which is phenomenal. It's ultra fast. You're getting about 50% from empty to 50% in about 15 minutes. So a really great power experience. Another cool thing that we've included in the Edge 30 Pro that is a first for the Australian market is wireless charging. So this is the first wireless charging product that Motorola has supported for many years now. And that means that you get about 20 watts wirelessly. So if you've got any wireless charging pads, you can rest the device on the wireless charger and have that charge your handset. And obviously supporting reverse wireless charging. So if you've got any friends or family around you that have a device that supports wireless charging, your Edge 30 Pro then turns into that wireless charging pad and you can share the power with them.
So one of the things that's always of interest to Android buyers is how long you get OS updates for and then security updates. So what's the policy for the Edge 30 Pro?
So being part of the Edge family, the Edge 30 Pro gets a little bit more support than other products in our portfolio. So the Edge 30 Pro will get 2 major OS updates. So we're going to take the consumer on a journey from Android 12, and they'll get the 2 Android updates post that. And then from a security maintenance release perspective, there are 3 years of scheduled updates available for Edge 30 Pro. So we're really supporting those consumers that are getting on board with the Motorola Edge franchise.
And when does it go on sale again?
So Edge 30 Pro is available for pre-order now. So JB Hi-Fi launched a pre-order yesterday. If you pre-book an Edge 30 Pro with JB Hi-Fi, you can get a Lenovo smart clock with charging dock included for recommended retail $109. That's a gift with purchase, so that's a great offer. But it will be available on shelf from the 31st of March with JB Hi-Fi and the Good Guys. And we've got a lot of support with our retailers for online at the moment. So, Big W, Officeworks, obviously JB and the Good Guys will also have it available online. Mobile City and Lenovo.com, all launching at the end of this month.
Okay, so look, as we get towards the end of the interview, I always just like to ask a few questions about your own history in the world of tech and more so what's the story of Kurt Benici in the world of tech?
So I'm very passionate about technology myself. I grew up in a family of technology lovers with a brother in IT, another brother in AV, and I kind of combined the two and I ended up in the telecommunications industry. I had mobile phones from a very early age. In high school, I remember getting my first Ericsson with a stubby antenna and, really was very passionate in mobile technology from an early age. And very similar, I studied IT, I studied computer systems engineering. So I've always been really passionate about, mobile devices and computers and all of those things and really excited about innovation and how it improves our life and changes the way that we do things.
So Kurt, is there any sneak peek you can give us on the AR glasses and the metaverse work that Motorola is doing in its labs?
Absolutely. So last year we announced the Motorola 312 Labs. So the 312 Labs is our opportunity to innovate and pioneer at our headquarters in Chicago. For those of you watching, 312 is actually the postcode of Chicago. That's where it got its name from. So the 312 Labs allow us to innovate. It allows us to demonstrate technology and really drive the industry forward with some of these key technologies. Some exciting things that are happening in the 312 Labs at the moment include there's some contactless charging work being done. So it's very different to traditional wireless charging where you need to put your device on a wireless charging pad. Contactless charging actually can charge up to 4 devices 2 meters away. So you can keep your device in your pocket or you can keep your device on the bench, knowing that the device is being charged wirelessly. So really exciting technology and a really key point of differentiation for Motorola. There's a lot of exciting things happening around augmented reality and mixed reality. And we're working with the Think Reality team and the Think Reality A3 goggles that Lenovo developed So you can have like that true augmented reality, mixed reality experience by plugging these goggles directly into your handset rather than having to, plug into a laptop or PC, which was traditionally how you could experience that kind of technology. So there are a lot of things happening with the metaverse and with the AR goggles. We're working with a couple of different verticals on particular use cases and how they can improve the way that they do their businesses. So there's some really exciting things happening, and there's a lot of practical use cases coming out of the work that's being done in the 312 labs.
Yeah, well, I know that Qualcomm just announced it's spending $100 million to develop virtual reality and mixed reality in the metaverse. So clearly we'll see a lot more movement in this area well before 2030.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Qualcomm and the power of the chipset included with something like the Edge 30 Pro, you can plug those glasses into the handset with Qualcomm Spaces, which is coming soon. There's a lot of SDKs and a lot of work being done on those practical use cases for the metaverse and for the augmented reality experience. And we're really proud to be working with Qualcomm to see, how we can push the boundaries of augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality, and deliver a really optimal experience.
Now, my second last question is simply to ask you, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received in life to help you get where you are today?
I think, something I've always believed in is that you always really need to listen, like understand your customer, really take on that feedback and use that feedback to develop yourself and the products that you're delivering. So, we always listen to our consumers. The voice of the customer is always the loudest. So we always capture whatever is happening in the market, and we use that message and information to really tailor our suite of products and deliver on what consumers are looking for. So I think first and foremost, it's really about, if you stop listening, you stop leading. It's about understanding the customer and then really being able to deliver against what they're looking for. And then the other thing that, I think about is, what got me to this point isn't necessarily going to take me to the next point. It's about innovation and evolution. So, always learning and trying to understand the market, but also working with, peers and colleagues and learning from them to be able to develop yourself and take yourself to the next step. So, they're probably the two key things that, have got me to where I am today. And certainly I'll be using those things to help me take me to the next step.
So what's your final message to ITWire viewers and readers, and to your current and future customers and partners?
So I think for the majority, Motorola is known for our iconic Motorola Razr. And, that's a segment that we will continue to develop. But there's a lot of other Motorola products in the portfolio that really deliver some really exceptional experiences to our customers. So when you think of Motorola, we always want you to think about, we're democratizing technology. We're making technology more affordable to our consumers. And we're really, we're sharing innovation to as many customers as we possibly can. We're really dedicated to deliver meaningful technology for all. So we're really bringing that technology down price tiers, and rather than having product in, that flagship space, in 2022, we really aim to deliver that flagship experience down into the portfolio, into the Motorola G franchise and below. So it's about Motorola creating the innovation. It's about creating exciting technologies. It's about being ahead of the curve. There's a lot of exciting things happening at Motorola, and we're really confident that we're on the right track. I think we've delivered some exceptional growth over the past few years, and we think that, with our fantastic product, with the quality of product that we're delivering into the market, we're confident that consumers are going to have a great experience with Motorola handsets.
Well, Kurt Bonici, thank you very much for your time. I wish you the best of success, and I hope to talk to you again in the future.
Great. Thanks very much, Alex.
Thank you. Bye-bye.